and you understand the importance of management, you are self-led, you are a leader. You have to manage being able to do ministry as well as work, as well as that other project that you're doing, as well as this entrepreneur gig that you have going on. You know how to manage. However, this particular area, you've kind of just been pushing, like stuffing everything in a closet. Just get out of my sight. When I have time, I'll deal with that closet.
Achievers in box for her purpose driven, so we slay the giant of indecision.
Hello there, this is Zenobia D. Williams, and today, just like I indicated in the prelude, we have a very important but a very hard conversation to have today. This conversation today for our 35 and beyond purpose-driven souls is one that speaks to how a bad connection in our lives, a non-marital relationship, right? Whether that's in family, a friendship, someone you're dating, how a bad connection can actually cost you so much, can cost you everything, can cause you to lose out on things that matter to you most. The reality is you are busy, and because of that often justifiable busyness, you have not had the time to examine the quality of your relationships. You may have indicators that things may need adjustment, like something may be wrong, you're thinking within. You may even be getting red flags, getting frustrated in certain conversations or in certain environments with certain people, but you're busy. So today for our conversation, I want to liken this to you being on a telephone, let's say with a bank, and you guys are talking about some problem that you found in your bank statement. And so it's an important conversation, and you're on the telephone and they're asking you to give them numbers according to what you have on your paper, and it's a very intense conversation. And somebody comes into the room where you are and they're trying to gesture to you and say, hey, perhaps they're saying someone is outside waiting for you, or they may be pointing to their phone saying someone wants to talk to you, or they may be picking up their bag and saying to you, well, I'm getting ready to go, but before I go, and they're trying to tell you this, but you're like, you're on this call, very important call, and you're like, okay. So so you can't really give them your undivided attention. Or you may just be like, okay, you may not even be looking up, you may be looking at the number. You cannot give it attention because of this call that you're on. Now, had you been free, you would have been able to give those other things attention, but you were on that call. So you may say, Synovia, that was a bank call with an issue. I needed to give that my attention. And I'll say that's fair. However, there are times when being locked in one thing in an all-consuming way can cause you to miss out on things that should have been priority, miss out on important and precious moments that a lot of times you may never be able to get back. So in order to really understand this, I need you to come with me into my story to understand how it could be that a bad connection can cost you the most important things to you and can cost you almost everything. In order for you to really capture it, I want you to imagine that person on the telephone call. Imagine it's you on that all-consuming telephone call. Imagine that conversation with the bank is actually a relationship. That sort of conversation, being in a continuous conversation, trying to figure things out. That telephone call, let that reflect a relationship that you're in. Now remember, it could be a non-marital relationship of any kind, family, friends, but for the sake of this story, we're going to dive into a romantic relationship just so you can get a feel of what I went through, my experience, and how I came through. So keep in mind that telephone call, you're on that call. Everything else that comes up can only get a limited amount of attention from you, because this conversation is demanding so much from you in terms of your time, your attention, your mental capacity, your emotional capacity, that you have to now negotiate and manage what you have left with everything else. Now here's the thing. You are very savvy and innovative and creative. You have perseverance and tenacity. You are a hard worker, and you have experience, and you have smarts and intellect and brilliance, and you're amazing. So you still show up. You're still the manager, the entrepreneur. You still show up for your kids. You get stuff done. But guess what? At the end of the day, you are more drained. You are more tired. That's why you always feel like I gotta do me, and I gotta, find ways to relax more, whether that is glasses of wine or some other thing to make yourself feel relieved and released, because you are being taxed by spending all of yourself on life, because you only have a limited of your capacity, your attention, your energy, your drive, and your focus left, because this conversation is taking up just so much. Okay, so here's my story. And this is the short version. So let's start here. I had spent many years in an organization where I felt like I was confined and limited, put in a box, like I was undervalued even while I was giving my best. So I felt unappreciated for a long time. And so I got a new job, and then came in all these other issues. One of the issues was I felt like on that job there was a lot of complacency, like people did not have standards and didn't match, I should say, what I felt like should be a standard of excellence that we all should bring to the workplace. But of course that standard for me probably wasn't always there, but that was set when I became a believer, knowing what God says about how what we do should be in service to Him. And so, but being in a place where it seemed like the majority of people were there just to get a paycheck, and like that complacency was cultivated in that place, eventually that place became very hard for me to actually show up and feel light and feel bright and feel productive. Eventually it became more combative, and it almost felt like the work environment was toxic for me. And at the same time, I got a dog thanks to my daughter, and my dog got herself 7 puppies. So now my home became a animal home, and that meant 7 puppies that you are trying to find home for. I'm obviously speaking about a particular time in my life, and it was extremely stressful for both my daughter and myself trying to manage this home with 8 dogs that had to be inside, complaining neighbors, and all the financial strain that came with that, and everything else. And then I found myself being dumped by someone who I probably should have never been with in the first place. But as that happened and I got dumped, then in came the rebound relationship. Now, it wasn't my intention, but it was one of those scenarios that played out where talking to the guys at work, the fellas, they just saw me as someone that they wanted to share their stories of combat in love, the battlefield of love, and they would tell me their stories. And as a believer, I would just want to share with them. You want to talk with me, okay? And try to encourage them to find their life and their love in Jesus. In doing that, I would share sometimes my music, and we would just kind of, we would hang and sit and have lunch together. And then this thing happened where the fellas thought it was cute for them to have a mini contest about getting my attention. And that involved getting treats for lunch and snacks, and it was a real fun thing to be shown so much attention and to be made to feel so special after having been dumped, after having been unappreciated or feeling unappreciated for so many years. That is how the rebound relationship happened when I ended up dating one of them. And then the Netflix and chill, and one day we're watching TV, the ex comes over, tries to make some hullabaloo, and the rebound relationship stands up for me. So now I have a hero. That hero turned out to be more like heroin. It cost me so much. I was introduced through that relationship to the terminology of ghosting. If you don't know what ghosting is, give God thanks, all right? It's when someone totally like just abandons you and disappears on you, but then they're telling you they love you, and it's madness, okay? I was introduced for the first time in my life to the term narcissist. What are these people that don't want you, but then they don't want you to go anywhere else? So in that rebound relationship, it was combative within me because I found myself eventually being stuck in a place of indecision. Should I stay? Should I go? Because yes, there was all of these sleepless nights and lots of crying, still trying to like talk with them and to compromise because we were misaligned in terms of our beliefs, but I was trying to almost be a savior in the midst of it to them and trying to help them to be better because there were so many things that we did have in common and we could laugh together. And we had a special thing that we used to do together that was just the best, except when the attitude and the frustrations got mixed up even in that thing. But I was giving this thing my all. So that telephone conversation was me trying to maintain and manage this relationship that was costing me a whole lot and giving me a lot of pain. And I was trying to work with it. And so what I didn't know was I had an inner dialogue, subconscious beliefs that were operating in me. There were things that I felt that I had a void for and things that I actually desired and had a lust for that was keeping me in this indecision. But I didn't know that until I became certified as a mindset coach. Then I was able to kind of see the entire story and see how all the things played out. Now with all of this going on, don't forget my egg dogs and my disgruntled neighbors and my daughter and I, who were kind of bucking heads as she's becoming more of an adult, and we're just frustrated on both ends, especially in our chaotic house. And so my mom gets sick in the midst of all of that happening, and she gets a challenge that even affects her mobility. Now when my mom got sick, it felt like I was going through so much at that time, and then as she got sick and she needed like emergency help at one point, it felt like everyone was looking at me, like I needed to be the one to take responsibility. Now this story goes really far and deep, but I'm trying to make it short. I'll suffice to say I didn't grow up with my mom, but I loved her like I did. And so when everyone that was in that communication and conversation started to look at me like, you need to do this, you need to come up with that, you need to I got defensive, and I kind of wanted to push back because I was already feeling like I'm being choked by my own situation, and now you guys are trying to put something on me, and I didn't have language for what I was dealing with. And so my only defense was to kind of like push back, and I became even callous with my mom. Like I would show up, I would go to the hospital, get what she needed and all that, but I like get it done and go, and what I was not able to give her, though, even as I was showing up and doing the things, was I was not able to give her that encouragement, that empathy. My mom and I are both, touch is our love language. I wasn't hugging her and kissing on her. And, she would, when I was even young, she'd give you a kiss on the lips. That's the type of loving person she is. And none of that was happening. It was just do it as a duty while I'm still having this defense thing going up, because I felt like I didn't really have much left after I was given so much to navigating this situation, this telephone call that I was on in this relationship, and trying to feel as if the things that was told to me were actually true or not, and should I stay, should I go, should I stay, should I go. I still remember the day I got a call that said, your mom isn't doing well. This was sometime in the future. because she had moved to another place, so I actually had to travel to see her. When I went to see her, whew, can I just thank God right now that I was able to go and see her. She was not able to communicate as she used to, because this woman, she has this iconic personality and a smile. Oh, she was a beautiful person. I know you noticed the word I used just in that moment. Was. I'll get to that. But in this visit, we were able to sing together. And that's important because when I was a child, when I would visit her at times, I remember being able to fall asleep in the couch as she would sing the gospel songs, and as she cleaned the house and she would sing and I would rest just hearing her voice. And so when we were there, we were able to share again that love language that we both share, that touch, that kiss, that embrace. And then I asked her to sing for me. And although her words were not able to come out clean and articulate anymore, she sang. Oh, she sang for me. And I can't tell you some of the words she was saying, but she was singing for me. And when I left that day, that would be the last time I would see my mom with my eyes and be able to touch her. And as I was leaving, the last word she would ever say to me face to face was, "Don't cry. Don't cry. It's going to be okay." I lost my mom. And when I did, I had to fight so that sadness did not move into depression and that it didn't pin me to the ground. And this is what it felt like, with guilt and shame and also just fighting this cruel battle of this toxic relationship. A part of me being able to survive, because truly that is all I was trying to do at that point, was to survive, was getting back in relationship, in alignment, and believing that God could help me through this. And that led me to the mindset certification and understanding myself, that introspection, the inventory that I am advocating, that as you become 35 years and older, you need to take inventory. Because what is being allowed to be bypassed, and those red flags and the things that are now out of alignment, just like a spine that's out of alignment, it's not that you have to necessarily quit someone or leave something, or a work relationship or a job or a person. Sometimes it may just need some recalibration, some realignment to get back in place so that it can serve you both at its best capacity. But then again, sometimes it means building a bridge for an exit plan, and sometimes it means to go. But none of this will happen without the opportunity, without that set focus to examine our connections. You see, a bad connection can rob you of more than you bargained for, more than you realize. You manage everything else. You manage work, you manage time schedules, you manage children and grandchildren, and you understand the importance of management. You are self-led, you are a leader. You have to manage being able to do ministry as well as work, as well as that other project that you're doing, as well as this entrepreneur gig that you have going on. You know how to manage. However, this particular area, you've kind of just been pushing, like stuffing everything in a closet. Just get out of my sight. When I have time, I'll deal with that closet. However, this can cost you everything. It can cost you your mental health, your emotional health. It can cause stress to such a level that you begin to feel drained, get migraines and headaches. You begin to feel sick. You have to drag yourself places. You may even find yourself having anger and resentment inside. You're always living sad because you're connected to people who really do not like you or envy you, but you're still in their atmosphere, and that whole situation is tainted by ill feelings. And so bad connections can cost you everything. It can cost you your walk with the Lord. Like I found out as I began to compromise, you do not step into it thinking all of this will happen. You just invite a little bit of music. You just entertain a little bit conversation here and there. And so when it costs you your walk with the Lord, now you're talking about what's connected with that: your peace, your joy, your purpose, your fruitfulness and productivity, your health. Everything is connected to that. That is your life. And so bad connections can cost you everything. So you may say, okay, Synovia, what do I do if I still only have limited amount of time, but I want to take some time to examine my relationships? Well, if you only have a little time, what you can do is join me on a program that I have created for us, women 35 years and beyond. It is called 8-Day to Decision Program. Now, there are two forms of it. One is for work and one is for non-marital relationship. There's an upcoming one for non-marital relationship that I invite you to register for. In just 8 days, you will walk with me through a journey of self-discovery. You will be able to examine what is your real, true inner dialogue and your subconscious beliefs that have opened you up for certain things, that have caused you to remain stuck in certain connections. What is it that you're trying to gain? What is it that you are trying to ward off by being in certain relationships? And this 8-Day to Decision program is going to open all of that up for you. You see, you have set goals for this year, but you're going to need energy, focus, momentum in order to accomplish them. You have financial goals. You may want to build a house or build another house. You may want to travel the world. You want that really super vacation that you have in your heart, but you need to make some time, and you may need to do some other things in order to make these things happen. You want to see your grandkids go off to college or whatever it may be. You have plans. You have health plans. You have fitness plans. And guess what? You can't achieve them without energy and momentum. I know this the hard way. I put on so much weight when I was going through the frustration of this complication in my life that I didn't have the momentum to work out and to stay fit. And so to get that energy, you have to rid yourself of the things that are burdens and baggage, the things that are confining you, the things that are sapping your energy. I mean, it's always consistently and constantly keeping you in a stressful mental cycle. Is this a problem? Is this an issue? Is it me? Is it them? Should I stay? Should I go? With 8-Day to Decision program with me, you're going to be clear on, do I need to edit? I may just need to edit the situation, or do I need to delete? Is it out of alignment? Do I need to adjust? You're going to be able to make a decision about what it is you want for yourself and what you are going to do, what direction you're going to take with clarity and with confidence. And you don't have to do it alone. It is that cycle of trying to work it out in your own mind, as close as you are to this thing and you're trying to see it. Sometimes you need that help of someone like me, a decision coach, someone with experience, someone who gets you where you're at 35 and beyond, to help you to manage this entire conversation that's happening in your head and to be able to make the decisions that are going to give you the momentum to get your achievement and success, your purpose-driven success, accomplished. This is the path to getting your happiness back, your energy back, your youthfulness back, that essence of who you are, your peace. This is the path. You have not realized how that telephone call, those relationships, or that relationship that you've been giving so much of yourself to, has really been damaging your life and the quality of your life and impacting the quality of your life. And so sign up today. For less than the cost of dinner, you can have this kind of liberty. Get your freedom, your confidence, your courage, your energy back. You can find it at synoviadwilliams.com/8-day decision. Right there, for less than the cost of dinner, for less than the cost of that outfit. We're not even talking a banquet. For less than the cost of a night out, you can use 8-day to decision to get clarity about what's happening in the background of your mind, the things that you had stuffed to the side, to bring them to the forefront. Do that inventory, see what's working, see what's outdated, stop living your life in alignment with external factors and expectations of others that have nothing to do with your true values, what you want for your life. You have been giving the most of you to everything for a long time. But with the 8-day to decision program with me as your decision coach, you can begin to give the best of you to more of what matters the most. If you sign up now, you also get bonuses, access to our 21-day audio mantra, so you can begin to affirm yourself and allow your mind and your brain to now take a hold of your new direction, the new dialogue for you. You will also get our music that is catering to your soul, to help you to just stay focused, stay in your positive vibe, stay in your zone. You're going to be able to ask questions in particular to your own situation, and I'll be able to help you to address it, or conversations and questions from other people that may be appropriate to you. You'll be able to have all that and to help you to navigate your course with confidence. And of course, you'll also be included in our weekly newsletter, where we help you to balance and simplify and manage life, find harmony, align with your true values, where we help you to be entertained and have some laughter, have some fun, and like I said, get our original music made by myself, Synovia Will, along with some others, that's made just for your purpose-driven soul. So all of this comes as you access this program. We'll be so happy to have you. Don't wait another minute. Go now to synoviadwilliams.com/8-day decision. Register now and get ready for your next big move. If you join the waiting list, it will definitely be worth a little wait, so that you can get rid of the weights that have been holding you down, causing you stress, robbing you of your capacity to live life at its maximum. See you there.
Is it fire, Maya, or reckless desire? Delusion, confusion, a magic illusion. Let go, stick with it. Retire, aspire. Give more, that's enough. Try harder, no more. Should I stay, should I go?